What's up, sneaker fans? Thanks for tuning in to a More Than Hype review. In this video, we'll be taking a look at the Samba RM or Samba Remastered. The reason why I'm bringing this video to you now, even though these came out in 2019, is because the Samba is kind of having their moment. That's always really cool for me to see because it just proves to me once again the cyclical nature of fashion. And right now, it's the Samba's turn to be popular. And I'm bringing you this Samba RM video because this is, in my opinion, the best version of the Samba. Not only are you getting great materials on the upper, but the heritage of the original design of the Samba is still intact. Plus, you get a BOOST cushioned midsole, which is my favorite part of the shoe. But before I get too ahead of myself, let's start this review as we normally do, starting with the packaging. And these come in a pretty standard blue Adidas Originals box, some Trailfall logos there, and then we have our label here. So official name of these is Samba RM or Remastered or Remade. As far as sizing goes, I find these run very similar to what you get with the numbered Adidas silhouettes. And what I mean by numbered Adidas silhouettes is any silhouette that has a year in the name. For example, the Campus 80s. Compared to the regular Campuses, run about a half size big. My true size is an 8.5, so in all Nikes, I wear 8.5. In Yeezys, I wear a size 9. For these, I went a size down from my true size, and I got the 8, and these fit like a glove. If you are afraid that these are going to be too tight, let me just say that the upper does have sort of a deconstructed type vibe to it, so not too much padding on the inside, you know, just making these fit a little bit bigger or feel a little bit bigger than they actually are. Retail price of these was $120 at the time, but people weren't really wearing Sambas back in 2019, so I was able to get these for way under retail at the time. But right now, if Adidas were to come back with these, I could see these selling out for full retail price, very similar to what we're seeing with the Samba OGs. Anyway, let me stop rambling and let's take a closer look at these, starting with the upper. And what I really like about this upper is that compared to the original Sambas, it is almost identical with a few very small tweaks that, in my opinion, are improvements. So let's just start with the materials itself. So just like the OG Sambas that you might be wearing right now, the materials on these are really nice. So starting with your underlay, you have this very nice plush smooth white leather, 3 stripes here in a smooth black leather, and then of course our suede accent toe box right here. So clean. On the medial side, more of the same stuff. We got our 3 stripes, same upper white smooth leather. One of the changes though is we have a suede piece for our back tab here in what I can only describe as a very Adidas shape. A lot of signature Adidases, the Stan Smiths for example, have this shape. This is done up in a nice black suede material, but it has a very similar stitching to what we see on the tongue, and it is kind of like a deconstructed type look here with only this middle portion being stitched on. One interesting design bit on these is that Samba or S4M3A. I don't know, I just really like how this looks. Some people might not like it too much. I like that mint color. I know on the black pair it came in like almost like a very light pink. Just a little bit of visual interest. Doesn't bother me, especially because, well, when you're wearing them, you're only going to be seeing this. So kind of a nice addition, in my opinion, to differentiate these a little bit further from the original. These come stock with white laces, no extra laces with these. But what I do like about this tongue is it actually is very unique in a couple ways. First, no branding, just this suede piece with those same sort of markers that we get on our side logo here. I really like that clean look on these. And then we have a 2-layered bottom piece of our tongue here. We have like a very thin TPU, and then underneath that we have a mesh material. Taking a look at the inside of the shoe, and more of that mint color on our sock liner, white lining on the inside of our shoe. And one really interesting piece about this is, and this is going back to that deconstructed feel that I said these had, nothing inside of the heel. Now this might feel like something problematic, but in my user experience, this made these that much more comfortable because they really literally mold to your feet. You do get a little bit of support from this leather piece here, and you can always put in a custom insole to give you a little bit more support if you need it. But in general, for casual wear, these were super nice. That about does it for our upper. Now moving on to the midsole, outsole, and man, I love what they did here. We have that sort of chunky look, which right now in 2023 feels like it fits. Again, if Adidas were to bring these back, I could see these selling out the same way that the original Samba OGs are selling out, because it improves on a lot of the things that the Samba OG doesn't have. For one, a little bit more height in the midsole, which is something people like these days. Next, it does have some cushioning. We have that Boost midsole in here, which make these way more comfortable than the Samba OGs. Some people might feel that the Samba OGs fit a little bit tight. Well, that's because they do, and that's because it was originally supposed to be a soccer shoe where you're moving quickly, you're stopping quickly, lateral movements, you don't want your foot moving around in your shoe. That's just asking for injury. So the shoe has to be a little bit more snug. When it comes to these were made specifically for casual wear, and with that change in sort of design, you also do get a little bit more space in your toe box, just making these that much more comfortable. But because you have that thicker midsole here, your toe box still looks super sleek. The proportions here work together in tandem really well. Anyway, back to this here. We have it in a medium gum. I really like how we took design elements like those spikes at the top of our midsole from the Samba OGs, so we're keeping that heritage. Looking on the medial side, you do get some arch support from this midsole, which I like. And then finally, looking at the outsole, and same deal, we take the OG and we make it better. That's what this is all about. So we have that same sort of grid look. We have our 3 dots as well as our pivot point still there, but because we have our boost, we have the sort of cutouts, kind of like, I forgot what it was called. It was like web knit or something on the original Ultra Boost, basically giving the boost material these little pockets to compress in so you can actually feel the cushioning in your shoe. And then our big window on the back here, Adidas logo there, and a little extra rubber in this high wear area on the back of your heel. And even this sort of wavy pattern here that we see on a lot of traditional or classic Adidas silhouettes has been enlarged, a little bit more exaggerated, but it's still there. Adidas calls these the remaster, and they truly are a remastered version of that OG Samba. And there you have it. That is my review of these right here, the Samba RM, the remade or remastered. In my opinion, really the best version of the Samba that Adidas has come out with. You have the wider toe box. Of course, you have the great materials on the upper, and finally that Boost midsole, making these just so wearable, so comfortable. I had the black colorway of these that I completely wore into the ground, and I would love to get another pair just because of that classic look up top, but that more modern tech down low. So if you want these, man, you gotta look third party, and the prices on these are kind of crazy. So I would not recommend it. Definitely not for those prices that these are up for right now. If you can get them for, I mean, retail was $120, so anything around $150-ish I think is pretty reasonable, but otherwise I would not spend thousands of dollars on these. That's about it for this video. So if you have any questions, comments, leave it down below. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe, like the video for more sneaker content, and I'll catch you on the next video.